I'm building an app for mental health. The 5M app is releasing in a few weeks, so join the email list at 5mselfcare.com.
What's the biggest health challenge men face today?
Well, what definitely bubbles up for me is mental health for sure. We are leading in depression, anxiety, and suicide because we're expected to be strong, stoic, and self-reliant. We don't get a lot of support from our families or communities, and we come from backgrounds where, like everyone is echoing here today, that the idea of being a man is actually being strong and stuffing down your emotions. So I think that is definitely at the top of the list, and I think that pours out into everything else. Mentally, as we're saying here, with fear and with some other things, if you're in that place, then the rest of your experience will follow that physically as well. So that does lead to cardiovascular disease and cancer and these other kind of things. So for me, I'm working with veterans every week with PTSD and all the way down to just normal people facing regular life problems, and the mental health piece of it, that aspect of it. And sometimes it's not fear, because you can't fear what you don't know. Sometimes it's lack of knowledge and information, as well as a few other things.
What barriers do men face when overcoming this challenge?
So there's a number of barriers that get in the way when trying to overcome our health challenges. Here's 10 here to think about. Societal norms and gender expectations, because traditionally masculine norms discourage us from getting help or expressing vulnerability. You also have a lack of health awareness. Many of us have limited knowledge or awareness around the conditions that we have or the treatments available. So that means a lot of times we don't figure it out until it's too late, or, it's a real problem. We have a reluctance to seek help because for many people, it doesn't make you a real man to seek help. So that's our mental problem there. Risky behaviors, limited preventative care depending on where you live, a stigma around mental health. You have a lack of social support, hazards as far as our occupations, especially if we do manual labor and these kind of things. We have limited access to health care, and we also have a lack of male-specific health resources. So if we're going to address these things, it requires really a combination of awareness and education, policy changes, and really societal mental shifts in general. But continually encouraging these conversations openly and promoting regular checkups and things like that can really improve things and help us as far as our self-care. We can remove the barriers.
What steps can men take to get on a path of better mental health?
I think that the most important step in this process is first actually accepting and saying, I have a problem. I think it's being honest with yourself, and not that the cause of your life not going well is everything and everybody else. I think it's first literally that acceptance. I have a problem. And then from there are different things that you can do. To me, getting yourself a self-care formula. This is, where my particular accountability partner status comes in. My self-care formula combines 5 M's. It combines music, movement, meditation, mindfulness, and mantras. And I think that is the most important step. It's actually, everybody likes music, so it's finding music that affirms you. It's actually moving your body in some way, whether it's stretching, whether it's walking, becoming active. It's actually practicing meditation, working with your breathing, working with those things that help you to maintain yourself. It's mindfulness, not judging yourself so much and observing things instead of coming to conclusions and problem solving all the time. And then you gotta be saying positive, affirming statements and mantras to yourself every day. I think that's the core. Accepting, acknowledging, and being honest. And then after that, getting a self-care formula where you can take care of yourself so that you can open up to these other things.